What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Horror Heads podcast. I am Rich Mallory here with my co-host Jerry Lorenko.
I'm fucking excited, Rich.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Why are you excited? Let's.
I mean, here we are. We're in the holiday season. We're wrapping up another season of the Horror Heads. We only have like two episodes left to go, and I mean, we're going to talk about 2025 films. So it's going to be a good night. I'm excited.
Yeah. No, tonight we're going to talk about basically just a year in review. We will have another episode after this, our season finale that we'll talk about a little later. But yeah, we're going to talk about the best and worst of 2025. So you could follow us on Instagram at Horror Heads Podcast. Email us to horrorheadspodcast at gmail.com. If you're listening to this on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, etc., you could also watch the video on YouTube. If you want to see us drinking in the flesh, you could do that. Really quick before we kind of get into 2025, this is it is a very exciting year, and I'm really excited to announce that my film Feral is finally out in the world. We talked about it a bunch earlier in the year, but it
Hell
is
yeah,
out.
man.
You could watch it on Tubi, you could watch it on Roku channel, you could watch it on Amazon, probably a bunch of other places too, but those are some quick places you could find it. For those of you who don't know, I am a filmmaker. Feral is my 10th film that I've written and directed. It is a very sexy, edgy, LGBTQ leaning, noirish thriller that focuses on a woman named Ghost who's a hustler, gets into a ton of debt. And in order to pay that debt off before a bunch of bad people do some bad shit to her, she enlists the help of a person who she thinks is very innocent, convinces her to help her rob some dudes. What she finds out, though, is that this young girl is not innocent after all, and the tables are turned. So you can check out Feral, watch it now. That's the last time I'm going to plug it today. But yeah, I'm super excited. I mean, dude,
Amazing, man.
we had the premiere back in January, and
Yeah, I
here we
remember
are.
talking about it a long time ago. I
Yeah,
think we started
yeah,
talking about it last year, but congratulations. That's
yeah.
fantastic news. I have not watched it yet. I was waiting for it to get released a little further, so now I could check it out on Tubi, which is exciting, and I'm probably gonna check that shit out this weekend. So I'll let you all know what I think.
Yeah, awesome. And it's actually awesome that it's on Tubi because Tubi's been really cutting back on like the sexier kind of films
Lame.
lately, and I hear it's really hard to get independent stuff up with sex and nudity, and
Damn.
they put this one up, and so let's
Well,
celebrate it and support it and watch it, and that's that.
I hope Tubi knows who their core audience is
It
because
every platform does this. Like the movies that work are the sexy ones, and at some point, like platforms become too big, and they start saying we don't want any more of the sexy stuff, so they start like getting rid of it and making everything like more safe for work, and people stop watching. Then another platform will pop up. They'll put a lot of the sexy stuff. That's what really works, and eventually it all gets squeezed out. It's really interesting. Like people just embrace it, man. Who cares? It's consenting adults. Let them watch what they want to watch.
who cares? Exactly. Just have it there. Have the art available for anyone to digest it as they see fit. If you don't want to watch it, skip it. If you want to watch it, it's there. I don't understand why you would just go after a certain type of category or topic. It's just very strange to me. I think there's always going to be a market for that type of
Yeah.
content. Like and it's the foundation of probably a lot of like lower budget movies and things like that. It's the focus of blockbusters. I mean, it's like, come on, it's everywhere. Why would you go after it? So I hope they don't go in that direction, but there's always another platform, like you said.
Yep. Until then, check out Feral. So we're going to talk about like 2025 movies. Feral
Yeah.
is one of them. It is not a horror movie, so we're not going to talk about that anymore.
Mm.
But at the very end of this episode, we are going to give our top three films of 2025, which I'm super
Wow.
excited about. We're going to talk about a little bit of everything. So first, I actually did over the past week watched a bunch of brand new 2025 movies, kind of more lower budget kind of movies. So I figure like I'll talk about those right now.
Yeah, what'd you watch?
So I watched. Okay, there's four I'm going to talk about really quick.
Wow.
So
You watched
I
a
had the
lot. Damn.
yes. So yeah, I know, I went crazy. So the first one I watched was this movie called Brute 1976,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
which it looks really cool. It feels like almost like if Rob Zombie were to make a low budget Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like that's kind of how it is. What really turned me off, I'll be honest, I ended up not finishing the movie, was there's a scene early, and there's a guy in a bathroom, a really shitty bathroom in the middle of nowhere, and he sees a glory hole, puts his dick through the glory hole. Okay, I'm interested. But they censored it, so they put like a white box over like the guy's cock. And then on the other side is a guy with a drill who drills into this guy's cock, but you can't see anything because they put a white box over it, and it was really annoying. And I was like, "Fuck,
Damn, man, that
yeah."
sounds. Is there an uncut version available? Because
I
that
don't know,
sounds insane.
right? I watched it on
Or that's
Tubi.
just the cheap way that they got around, doing the effects. Like, what do
I
you think?
think
What do you think it is? I don't think.
I think they did it because they couldn't get someone to show their dick,
Oh,
or again, like you said, I think it was a way to not show the effects, but it's like a huge white box, and it really, I was annoyed because the movie's kind of, it's not, I wouldn't say the movie's good, but it was like gritty, and I was like, okay, this is interesting. And then I was like, oh hell yeah, we're gonna get like fucking, we got some dick,
yeah, man. So, I
and then
mean,
they kind of blocked it out. I mean, the
Dick
movie's
always
whatever,
adds
yeah,
a half star to the
yeah.
to the rating, so
So
that's
I'm
pretty
gonna say
cool.
that one's a pass. And then I
Uh,
watched. Okay, so this year there was a lot
I
of
want to talk
movies.
about this dick a little bit more. Hold on.
Well, you didn't
No,
see it.
kidding.
You couldn't see it. You couldn't even see it. And it was it made me wonder if there even was like a dick, because like
Damn,
there's
man.
like you just see this white box.
Faking the
Okay.
dick. Oh. All right. Sorry. I'll move on. I'll move on.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it was just such an interesting year for like horror films in general. And like there's it seems like a lot released, and this was like a big year for horror, right? But also at the same time, like we struggled finding movies to talk about this year, and we
Yeah.
did a lot of like recaps, but there was like a lot of big sequels. Like we had like 28 Years Later, it was a Conjuring movie. There was like some big like new like intellectual property with some new IP like Sinners and Weapons like
Yeah.
did really well. So it was kind of like a big year for horror, but it also
Yeah, for sure.
wasn't. So there's also a lot of movies that came out that I guess a lot of things fell into the public domain, and Popeye is one of them. And there's
Yeah.
three different Popeye movies that I saw on Tubi, and I did watch one of them because fuck it, I don't know, I was bored. I watched this movie called Popeye's Revenge, and I think you would actually like it because it's a pretty. Did you watch it?
I almost watched it
Okay.
yesterday.
Okay. And
Yeah.
again, there's three Popeye movies, but Popeye's Revenge is the one I watched. I think you would like it because it's a straight up slasher movie. You
I'm
have to
into
get
that.
over the fact that the slasher looks kind of goofy because he looks like Popeye, but
I
like,
like that.
so what? There's a lot of blood in it. There's some nudity. Like he really fucks up some people. Like there's a scene where he like squeezes a girl's head, her eyeballs like fall out. Like it's actually pretty cool. It's a pretty
I'm
good.
gonna say I'm all in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually think like I'm watching it and I'm like, I think Jerry would really like this movie. So
Man,
I
you
would
should send me a message. I would put that shit on
uh,
ASAP. Damn.
so check out Popeye's Revenge. Again, straight
I
it's basically it's a straight up slasher movie. The killer just happens to look like a Popeye. But it's worth checking out.
I have two saved in my queue. I don't remember which ones they were. Maybe if you know the names of the other two, I would kind of
Yeah, so
know.
the
But
other ones were let's see, Popeye the Slayer Man is the other
that's
one.
it. That's it. Yep,
And
that's it.
then the other one was like Shiver Me Timbers, I
No,
think the
not
other
that
one
one.
was.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, all right.
definitely Popeye.
Well, check out Popeye's Revenge. Check that one out. Yeah, I think
I'm
you'd like
all
it.
in. I think I would
Um,
love it. I have no problems with Popeye, dude. He's all right.
okay. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I would check this one out. I think you'd like it. Again, it's got like everything you would want in like a low budget slasher movie. It's
I
like
mean, is there any
perfect.
spinach involved?
There is a can of spinach. Actually, there is a can of spinach. There is a can of spinach. Let's see. Another one I watched. I think you would like this one too. It's a British film. It's called Everyone is Going to Die. Have you seen that?
That sounds so familiar. I feel like I watched all these
S-
movies.
So basically, the premise is this really rich guy who's kind of an asshole. His daughter, his like 16-year-old daughter, comes to stay with him, and it's her 16th birthday.
Oh no, didn't see it.
And
Okay.
it's clear they like hate each other or whatever. And then two women show up in masks and hold them hostage, and kind of you have to kind of figure out like what they're there for. Like there's a reason why they're there to like fuck with this guy and his
Hmm,
daughter. And it's home invasion.
love
It's
that.
really small, really simple, but like it's really good. It just unfortunately like it needed like 2 more minutes because like it
Mm.
gets to a certain point, and then like there's like a twist, and then it ends, and it just
Oh.
it needed like one more. If it had one more thing happened, it would have been like it would have went from like a 3 star to like a 4 star
Oh
if just
wow,
one
damn.
more thing happened. But like it's good. It's like suspenseful. It's good tension. It's like I was interested in it. The characters are really good. It just kind of again, it just the ending like it just needed something else. But that's everyone is going to die. I would recommend checking it out just to watch it. Like it's not it's worth watching. I wish it was a little better. And then the last one I watched was this movie called A Desert. Have you heard of that one?
Mm-mm, no.
This one again, it was really good. I just wish the ending was like bigger. So basically, the premise of it is this guy's like a photographer who like photographs like abandoned buildings and shit like that. And he's on the road. He's a married guy, and he's in a motel, a shitty motel. And this he like his neighbor's being really noisy, so he tells like the motel guy to shut him up. The neighbor comes over to apologize, and it's like this real sleazy guy and he's like, oh, he's like, me and my sister are in the next room. You want to like hang out with us? So kind of like this sleazy guy forces him and his sleazy sister, quote unquote, into the room. They all kind of like party. You get the impression that the photographer fucked like the sister. And then like it kind of just spirals out of control. Like a bunch of like shit happens. It gets kind of crazy. It's really slow burn, very artistic. I just wish the ending was good. It just needed to be bigger. Like it needed like a bloodbath. Like at the end, like
Mm,
it was almost there. Whereas like this was
damn.
almost like a really amazing movie. I would just say it was pretty good. But that's a desert. I'd check that. I'd recommend it. I just wish it just ended a little stronger. So those are the four movies that I watched over the past week. I went crazy watching movies.
Yeah, that's sounds like some good stuff in there. Yeah,
You know what
that
it
one probably
was? You know what it was? I wanted to like I was trying to figure out my top three for
yeah,
2025,
yeah,
and I was
you
like,
want to
maybe
catch as
maybe I
much as
didn't
you
watch
can.
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I didn't watch enough movies. So I was like, let me just try and watch a bunch, and maybe one will kind of hit my list. These unfortunately didn't hit. So
Damn.
yeah. So before we go any further, what we do on the show is we do a bit of drinking.
What?
So let's get to that because I do have a drinking game that we're going to play that's going to really tie into a year in review. So what do you got
Damn.
tonight?
Oh man, I mean, I went big for tonight, I got this special bottle
Oh
over
shit.
here.
There's a
uh,
horse on the top of
yeah,
that
there's, there's
motherfucker.
there's there's a little bit left. I got a fresh bottle in the back there, so
Woo!
I got to finish this up, that way I could
Two
crack
bottles of
open the
Blannens. Nice.
yeah, this one,
John Wick
this
style.
one's old, so this one's time for this one to retire. I do have an issue with finishing bottles, so they tend to sit. I can tell you right now, this one's from 2022 because it's dated.
Oh,
So,
you've had a bottle of Blannens for 3 years now? Damn.
well, it was too expensive to buy until
I feel that.
recently, so I actually bought it recently because you usually get Blanton's for about a buck 60, buck 70. It went up to like 250 for a long time in New York. So I had a little bit left. I don't have a lot, so hopefully these drinking games aren't too crazy. But I bought that bottle basically when I went to the liquor store. It was on the shelf. It had 160 on it. I'm like, I'm buying it. So
Nice.
so I waited basically 3 years for the price to go back down, but I
Wow,
am excited to pour
that's
some.
really expensive. It's expensive here. It's not that expensive here though. I'm actually going a lot cheaper. I was at Trader Joe's today and
Uh-oh.
I bought something called Lismore, which I don't
Ooh,
know what that means. It's
why not?
Scotch whiskey single malt, and it was $12. So,
Yeah, do it. I mean, I really classed it up. I got the big rock in here,
oh,
so
nice, nice.
I'm trying to do everything right.
So yeah, so it's December, even though in LA it is 85 degrees, it is winter. So winter we do drink more Scotch. So this is Lismore Space. It says Speyside single malt Scotch whiskey, product of Scotland.
Mm,
I can't find the proof. Oh, 40,
space side.
40% alcohol, 80 proof. So let's drink it. Let's sip and see what we got.
Yeah,
Very
usually it
different.
has that mossy taste to it when it's space side, but all right, let's try it out.
Oh,
Cheers.
actually, I never heard what that is. I don't even know what that is. Speyside. Okay, can you educate us?
I don't know too much about it. I've drunk one before, and it has a moss kind of grainy,
Ah,
earthy taste. Yeah, I guess so.
yes, it does. It does.
It's like chewing grass.
Yeah, it's definitely mossy. Okay, so So it's mossy, grainy. It's fucking Scotch, but it does have a sweetness to it.
Oh, okay, that's nice.
It's
Yeah.
it's got a really sweet, almost maple syrup taste to it. So you have
Ooh.
this combination of eating. It's like sweet dirt. It's what it
Mm.
tastes like.
Mm. That so do you recommend it? Would you
I mean, it was $12, so yeah.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's great. I drink a lot of scotch during the winter too. Maybe that's what I'm making room for right now, trying to get rid of some of this bourbon so I could get some scotch. I mean, this Blanton's, it's unreal, it's like handcrafted, hand bottled, it's numbered, it's everything basically about the drink that you're having. It's fairly high proof. I always forget that Blanton's is a higher proof bourbon. It's about 93, 94
Oh, I
proof.
haven't had it in a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah, I always think it's gonna be like low 80s or something like that, but it's actually in the 90s. But you don't know it because it's super, super smooth. I mean, it's silky. Let me take another sip here. Hold on. I mean, it just has a nice kind of like, I mean, there's that alcohol right at the end, but before that, I mean, the easiest way to explain it, it's like smooth and creamy with a little bit of sweetness, and then like a burn right all the way at the end. That's kind of like what I'm getting, but fantastic.
Yeah, no, you can't go wrong. John Wick's drink of choice.
and,
Can't go
and
wrong with
now
Blend.
and now Jerry's.
Very cool. I can't believe it just cost that much. That's crazy. But okay, so you're drinking that. I'm drinking some scotch. As I said
Getting
earlier,
low.
again, very, very interesting year for horror. Again, a lot of big franchise sequels came out, some good, some not so good. I think there
Hmm.
was like two different Stephen King adaptations that came out
Hmm.
this year. A little bit of everything, also a lot of nothing though, and a lot of good independent movies too. So I figure what we would do to kind of like talk through some of the best and what we might think worst year movies of the year is I thought we'd do a little thumbs up, thumbs down.
Oh, all
Good
right.
game. And
Phew. At least we're not playing Was It 2025?
you know what? I would fuck that up because I was looking at the when I was making my like top three, like I had like three movies for 2024, and I was like, oh fuck. So what we're gonna do is I pulled up. It was hard to find like a good top list of
Hmm.
movies, especially people haven't done their year ends yet. So this is slashfilm.com's 15 best horror movies of 2025 so far. This was done in October, so anything that released after that isn't in there. And I thought, so what
Okay.
we would do is I'm going to name the movie, and if you give it a thumbs up, we're good. If you give it a thumbs down, I drink. If I give it a thumbs down, you drink. If you
Okay.
haven't seen the movie, then you have to drink. Sound
Got it.
good?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's the standard rules, and
All right.
they somehow always screw me no matter what happens, no matter what movie. I'll tell you what, it doesn't matter what movies are on that list. Somehow, by the end of this list, I'm gonna get screwed. I just don't know
I
how
I,
yet.
I
It's
I
gonna
think
happen.
I think a lot of so I when I tried to pick a list, I tried to pick a list that had more popular
Okay.
movies because a lot of them have like half of them it's like movies you never heard of, like some foreign
Yeah.
film. People when people give their top list, they try to be like super artistic about it and like they pick some movie that no one's ever seen before.
Yeah, sort of
This is
letterbox.
yeah. Oh, I was
Yeah.
gonna do the Litterbox one. I'm like, I haven't heard of half of these
Yeah,
movies. So,
yeah, that's exactly
so,
what it
so
is.
this is at least mostly movies you've probably seen. However, I think we're probably gonna thumbs down a lot of them, so it's gonna be bad. So I'll give the first one. 28 years later. What'd you think? Did you see it? Did you end up watching it?
I almost watched it 3 nights ago, but I watched something else instead. So I did not see it. I'm gonna take a sip.
Yeah, I give it a thumbs down. So
Mm,
I think that's a second sip for you. And like what I didn't like about it, and I think we talked about it on the show, is it was just dumb. Like the story was really dumb, the writing was really dumb. The characters keep getting into these situations where you're like, why would you get into that situation? The one thing I will say that you could say gives it a bloody knife is there is a zombie dick and it's huge.
that gets a half.
Yeah,
So it gets
and you
half.
see it. It's huge though. It's like a big fucking dong, and you see it a lot. It's like the zombies are a lot
Yeah,
of them are
well, you
naked.
want to know what? I heard that's not going to be in the next one,
Well,
so
I'm gonna
it's gonna
skip the
get
next
it's
one.
gonna get a thumbs down because I specifically heard that that zombie was omitted for the next
Okay, then
28,
I'm definitely not gonna watch
whatever
it.
it's gonna be,
Yeah,
28
yeah.
millennial away, whatever it's gonna be
Yeah,
called.
I really didn't like it. I saw it in the theater. It was too long. It was
Yeah, I
just
think that's what
dumb.
stopped me. I don't think I had like 2+ hours.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be. And it was like I would say the first like 20 minutes are pretty good, and then it just goes off the rails and just gets really slow and boring. And it's a weird film. So I dislike that. The next film, Bring Her Back, is one that lots of people were talking about this year. I did try. Yeah, I tried to watch it the other night 'cause I don't like to watch things that have a lot of child abuse, so I like kind of wasn't gonna watch it.
Yeah,
But I was like, fuck it, let me watch it. And 10 minutes into the movie, one of the characters is hurting a cat. And I
yeah,
was like,
fuck
nope,
that.
thumbs
Yeah,
done, thumbs up. So
so I
yeah,
gotta take two sips again, and that's your fault because you told me not to watch it because of the
you're
cat.
not gonna
So.
watch it. And I heard like it gets even worse, or there's a lot more animal violence. So
All right, how
that's
about
a
this?
huge skip.
How about fuck that movie? It shouldn't even be in existence. Why do people like a film that shows something like that? Like how do you find any enjoyment of watching or rewatching that? It's fucking stupid.
Yeah, I was so pissed off. I was like, I don't know why people are telling me to watch this movie.
Yeah,
All right, next
fuck
one,
it.
Clown in a Cornfield. I know you watched
Hell
this.
yeah, hell yeah, I watched it and I give it a thumbs down. So
Oh
you
shit, I didn't
so
see it. So that's two sips for
it says
me.
two sips for you. I had such high expectations for this film. It looked like it was going to be something very, very different than what it really was. I won't ruin it for you, but it's not what you think it's going to be. It's not a cool slasher with an evil clown just hacking up everyone. It's not. It's denser, it's deeper, there's big plot. There's a lot of annoying characters, there's a lot of uh Gen Z dialogue. There's a lot of things that make it very annoying, and it could have been the best film of the year. Could have been in my top three, but it's not. So
Damn. Okay. Yeah, I'll pass. And one thing I will say about this Lismore Scotch, I can't do like two sips at a time. I got to do
damn
one at a
man,
time.
what the hell?
It's hard to
Holy
get down.
cow. that
Well,
that
you know, how
is
Scotch is hard to like
damn.
guzzle. Like you can't like I don't know. Maybe after a couple I'll get into it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's
I don't got
see.
much Blanton's left here. I'm not cracking my other bottle for this.
Okay. Oh, next companion. Thumbs
Oh
up, thumbs
yeah.
down.
I liked it a lot. Thumbs
Yeah, so
up.
did I. I was surprised at how much I liked this movie. Like, and I watched it a couple of times. I thought it was fun. I thought it was pretty creative. I thought it was clever. Uh, it was like just the right movie, I think. I think they did a really good job with it.
Yeah, I mean, great hitting like really what's happening in the world, like right on the nose, like being, so with the pulse of what's happening. It's genre bending. It could be so many different things. It's a love story, it's a drama, it's a horror, it's
It's
AI
comedy.
horror, it's a
Yeah.
comedy. It's so many things. It just fell off my top five. It was right
Oh,
there. It
that
was
high.
right
Wow.
there. It was right there. I really enjoyed this film. I thought it was a great film. I will probably watch it once a year. I like it.
And I forgot this even came out this year because it came out, I think, in like
Yeah,
January. So we watched
came
it
out
so long
early.
ago.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I liked it too. So thumbs up on Companion. Okay, next one, Dangerous Animals.
Yeah, I liked it a lot, man. Definitely gets a thumbs up from me. This is another one that is actually going to make my top five films of the year. It's not going to be on my top three that we're going to talk about, but in a few weeks we're going to be on another podcast going to talk about our top fives. This is probably going to be number five for me. I
Wow.
love this film. I really thought like they did something with like the aquatic and shark horror that really has been missing. Like there's two things that happen with like aquatic horror. One, it's like Jaws and it's like an epic film, and there's only literally one of those.
Yeah.
Two, it's too low budget and everything is CGI and it looks really, really awful. And it just ends up being corny. Now, they used CGI in this film. I'm not saying they didn't, but they used it, I would say, more tastefully, and it didn't really take away from the film for me. And I just thought the premise of the film was really interesting and something I never seen before. So I'm giving it a thumbs up. I really, really like this film. I recommend everyone to check it out. I like it.
Yeah, so I haven't seen this one, and that's the
Damn.
reason. The reason why is like I've seen so many shark horror movies, and it's like you said, it's the CGI shark just annoys me, and like it just takes me out of the movie. But, I have heard you and other people tell me this is like different or like a step up the normal killer shark movie that I've seen 100 times. So I'm sorry, I do need to see it. I just haven't yet, so I'm gonna drink for that.
So take a sip. I would say the shark is like a B character, so it's not like you're constantly looking at this shark, and a lot of the sharks are kind of dark, so it's done in a way where maybe the CGI isn't as obvious, but to me it didn't bother me, and I really recommend this film. I think it's a great film. I can't say enough about it. Like honestly, like I was don't even know why I watched it. And it's just like one like you said, you watched a bunch of films this week because you were hoping to like catch that one film that really kind of stays with you. That's exactly what happened here. I don't know why I watched this film. It kind of has like a dumb name. I don't know if I like the name. And I'm like, it's fucking good.
Sounds like a band. Like I feel like it's
Yeah,
like a
it does.
90s band.
Yeah, it sounds like that. But I probably watched it 3 or 4 times
Oh
already
wow.
now, and I really enjoy it. So I give that a big thumbs up, 2 thumbs up if that's possible.
Okay, wow, nice. Okay, so next up is another a big franchise film. So Final Destination Bloodlines. What do you give that?
Yeah,
Thumbs up?
fucking loved it, man. Thumbs up.
Yeah,
Like I,
same, same. Huge thumbs up for me.
yeah.
Shockingly huge thumbs up. And look, when this came out, I did rewatch the Final Destination movies, and I do actually really like all of
Mhm.
them, except for there's one I don't like. I think part four I don't like, but I
It's
do
pretty
really
bad.
like them, and I thought that they did a great job with this one. This one almost made my top five. I'm sorry, it
Mm.
almost made my top three. It's probably in my top
Ooh.
five, but not my top three. But yeah, I thought this was great. It was like bloody with in the right places. The opening 20 minutes is insane. Like it just I feel like they took this franchise where basically every movie is exactly the same and did something completely not completely different, but pretty different with it. And I really enjoyed it. And we'll see what happens. I know they're going to make another one since this one was really popular and did a lot at the box office. We'll see if they capture that magic again. But yeah, I thought this was great. I
Yeah.
I
Me
saw it in
too.
the theater and then I watched it at home and I liked it even more watching it at
Liked it.
home, which is
Yeah,
rare.
it's 100%. I did the same exact thing. And yeah, I agree with you. This is definitely like kind of rooted in like the source kind of content where it's like, oh, it's familiar. But I really think they took that and they elevated it. They took another step forward with it. And I think they just breathed brand new life into this franchise. And I hope they do make another one. I am very, very excited to see it. I feel like, you always think like, how could they go wrong after launching this? But I mean, this was close to perfection for me. Probably one of the best movies of the year for me.
Yeah, and it's crazy to like I mean some of these kills are so elaborate and like there's so many different like twists and turns with each kill. It's wild that like they keep thinking of new things that are shocking. Like the thing with the MRI machine.
Oh my God.
I'll
And that
never
really
forget
happened.
that.
And that
It
happened
did. That's right. Happened on Long Island,
it
right?
happened on Long Island, like almost like right after the film came out. And it's like you don't want to laugh, but that really happened to someone. It's like they conceptualized this without it actually happening yet. And then it happened, and you're like, maybe these other things could happen as well, as ridiculous as they are. But has anyone ever fell in a garbage truck? I would guess that they might
I'm
have.
sure it's happened. Yeah.
I'm sure it might have happened. And it's just crazy that they're sitting there. They're probably throwing stuff at the wall, going, "Wouldn't this be crazy? Or wouldn't that be crazy?" And then it's plausible, which makes it even crazier. So I think this was a good horror film. I don't even know how to classify these because they're so uniquely their own. Are they a slasher? I don't know what they are. Is it a supernatural film? I don't know what it is, but I'll tell you one thing. I like it.
Yeah, and look, they're Final Destination movies, right? That's how you
Yeah.
classify it. Like there's nothing else.
Exactly. It's its
Yeah.
own. I loved
Yeah.
it.
All right, so next up, I think we both give this a thumbs up. Hard Eyes.
Hard Eyes, thumbs up, man. I
Yeah.
I liked Hard Eyes a lot. This is probably going to sneak into my top five list of either top five films of 2025 or top five holiday horrors of all time. I really liked it. I mean, there's a lot of ways to kind of think that this was a little bit cheesy. It did touch a little bit on like romance and a love story, but I think there's something there. I think this is the start of something. That's what it feels like to me. I don't know if Hard Eyes was perfect, but I think Hard Eyes 2 will be. So I really hope that they continue with it. It's almost like Friday the 13th. Like we'll all say we love Friday the 13th, but we all what we mean is we love Friday the 13th part 2. And you know,
Yeah.
and I think that could happen here because I think they're introducing a brand new killer. The killer looks cool. The concept is bonkers and totally relatable, and I mean it could happen. It could happen. So I thought it was so original. I thought it was done well. I like this film a lot. Definitely thumbs up.
Yeah, I liked it too. Again, it was like horror in the right spots. It was very like self-aware. There's a lot of comedy in it. It's very like lighthearted in places, but which at first I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna hate this movie. But I really liked it. I thought it was clever. It was, it's definitely very modern, and I'll be curious how this movie holds up like a few years from now because it fits like how movies are kind of now.
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of how they're trying to like really make things more like date kind of horror movies. But yeah, I thought it was really creative and I really liked it. Okay, next up, I just watched this recently, The Long Walk. This is one of the Stephen King adaptations that released this year. I don't necessarily know it's a horror movie. I don't know what you call it. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I
What'd you think of
did.
it?
I did. I'm gonna be honest with you. Liked it a lot, man.
Oh shit, really? I did not think you
Yeah,
would like this movie.
I totally, I totally got locked into it. I got wrapped up into it. I really enjoyed the characters. I liked the story that was being told, and it had me Googling how long you could walk. It had me Googling how many days you could walk and all that. I mean, I think like that kind of dystopian state where people are just so desperate to change their life that they're willing to do this knowing that death is probable, and they still do it. I think that makes for a great story, and I think it had some endearing characters that you kind of began to like as you heard about them. So I liked it a lot. I thought it was well written and well performed.
See, I didn't like it, and I'll tell you why.
Man, I gotta take a sip.
Yeah, I just think I'm never gonna watch it again, and
Mm.
I'm watching and I'm interested. However, I thought it was incredibly predictable, right? Because obviously it's gonna be not the main character, but like his friend. Like you knew like who was gonna survive this whole thing. So for me, it's kind of like I feel like I know it's based on either a book or a short story or something like that. I feel like it'd be much better as a book. I feel like I'd be really interested
Oh
because
yeah.
what I think the movie was lacking for me was a lot of suspense and knowing more about their inner monologue, like what they're going through and like their backstories, that you just didn't get enough of it here because they couldn't really do that. You can't really do that in a movie like or at least with the amount of time that they had to tell this story. I think maybe if this was like a serial, like a couple episodes,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
they could have really got into it. I feel like this would make a great like 10 episode series.
Oh yeah. I,
Um,
I would watch that. I would watch that
yeah,
100%.
absolutely. But in a like a 90-minute or however long it was movie, I just felt like it just didn't, even though the stakes were extremely high, the stakes didn't feel that high because like you'd never have time to get close to these characters who are ultimately going to all be killed off because
Yeah.
basically everybody in the movie dies basically.
Everyone has to.
That's not a
Yeah. I mean,
spoiler. That's
that's
just how the
yeah,
movie.
it's the premise of the
Yeah,
film.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think that like it would help if you could like really like lock into these characters, like really love them, and you can't do that in like a short amount of time. So
Okay.
I didn't like it. It wasn't terrible. It was watchable, but I don't think I'll ever watch it again. Which for me, if I'm not going to watch it again, did I like it?
Hmm.
I don't know. So
I
that's
think I
that.
think I think I would watch it again, honestly. I did enjoy it. And
I
I
love
thought
the
there was a lot of
concept.
brutality in there as well. So I think there's a little bit of something. So I liked it though. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't realize that the novel this was based on was written in 1979. This has been around for a while.
Yeah.
So it's before Hunger Games, like which
That's
basically is
crazy.
the same kind of story.
It's very, very similar. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, next up, I think I know where we're going with this one, The Monkey.
Oh man, that's a this
Drink.
is this is a begrudgingly thumbs down.
Big thumbs down.
Because
And
I wanted to like it, you know.
so did I. I just thought it was like the main character I thought was a drip. He was just
Yeah.
boring. I thought it was this is another weird movie where it was all over the place tonally. Like,
Yeah.
is it a comedy? Is it a horror movie? I think it's more of a comedy, but it was hard to kind of like lock into it because I was confused a lot of the time. Like, what am I supposed to be here? Yeah, I didn't like this one. I do feel so Osgood Perkins is,
Yeah.
people are praising him a lot. This, I think, is his second movie. He's done three. Nepo Baby, and I'm starting to think I did like Longlegs, but now after seeing The Monkey and Keeper is his other ones, I'm kind of like, I actually don't think this guy's really that great, like not that big a deal. I didn't like those two
The
movies.
hype is fading is what it
Yeah, yeah.
sounds like. I
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, artistically, I guess these movies are interesting, like enough, but not like I would never watch this movie again. I don't really care to.
Yeah,
It was
I
hard to
would
get through. I
say,
didn't want to finish
yeah,
it. I was like
I
so
would
bored.
say I hated every second of this movie. I didn't like it from the start, and I guess, when you mess up the start and then it just kind of falls off a cliff after that, and you don't really understand the point of the film or the point of view of the main characters, and really like it's thin. There's a lot of banana peels in this.
Yeah.
We're talking about a monkey here, but there's a lot of banana peels in this film, just trying to
Nice.
or just trying to get to the next thing and have it make sense. It didn't, because it really didn't tie together well. I just think the motive was off. Like everything was off on this. Like it doesn't even need to be believable for me. It just needs to be like make sense,
Yeah.
and I don't think this film made sense. I could be like, all right, this would never happen in a million years, but they put it together the right way where I'm like, okay, but they didn't. It just didn't make sense. It was stupid. I hated it. I don't even want to talk about it. I'm gonna take another sip so I could not talk about it.
Yeah, we'll move on to the next one. Okay, this next one I haven't seen. I hear a lot about it, a lot. Maybe you have Shelby Oaks.
Yeah, it's not really streaming anywhere
Okay.
yet, so it's you still have to kind of get it on demand and pay for it. So
Uh,
I haven't seen it yet, so I'll take a sip,
we'll
but
sip on that
it's
one.
on my
Yeah.
list. It's on my list to watch.
Yeah, I've not seen that one. The
I
most
believe it's
crowd.
found footage
It
though.
is. It is.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
believe it's found footage, so I don't know if you would see it, but I'm
No,
definitely
I'd pass on it. The most crowd-funded horror film in Kickstarter history. I didn't even know they were still doing that.
yeah, I'm gonna check it for sure.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay. So
excited.
that's that. Next one I didn't see. I haven't even heard of this one, and I'm shocked I never heard about it because I'm a huge Cronenberg fan. The Shrouds. Have you seen that?
No, have not
Yeah.
seen it. I'll
Sip.
take
I've
another
not seen
sip.
it. I want to watch it though. I love Cronenberg, so I'm gonna check that out. There's what, three more? Three more? A couple more. Sinners. I don't think we need to talk a ton about Sinners because we kind of did a whole episode on it. I said I was going to watch it again, and I just have not been in the mood to watch it again. I think you and I are probably two of the only people that will admit to not liking this movie. I don't know. I thought, well shot, well acted. I thought the writing was really poor. I felt that having Michael B. Jordan play twins that looked exactly the same, wearing the same outfits, was confusing to me. I thought the vampire stuff came in too late in the movie and was very cliche and not that interesting. And then the multiple different endings I thought were just kind of silly and tonally all over the place. I feel like if this was written better, it would have been a lot better, but there it is. So I don't. We're gonna get hate
I
mail on this again because everybody's
I agree with
favorite
everything you
movie.
just said there, and I'm going to take a sip because I'm giving
Yeah.
it a thumbs down. So
Bummer, bummer.
there's nothing for me to add to that. That's exactly how I feel about this film, and I don't think we're wrong. That's the weird part. So
I think
I
we're just the
don't
only people
think.
that will admit it.
Yeah, I don't think we're wrong. I will say one thing. Can something be a good movie and be a bad horror movie. Can both those things be true? I would say yes. You know, it was for the most part a good film, but I wasn't watching a good film. I was trying to watch a horror film, and so I think it was just mismarketed. You know, I think if you kind of changed the direction of it, I probably would have liked it. But if you're touting it as a horror film, I got to see some horror, and it was stupid. So I didn't like it. Thumbs down.
Yeah, I think we said this before. If it was just a movie about two guys trying to open up like a juke joint in, slave era, not slave era, but like, KKK era, like
Yeah,
South, I feel like
I'm
that's
in.
interesting. I think I
I'm
would
in.
have liked that movie, but like
Yeah, like
the
a period
vampires,
piece, you know?
yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. I'm all about that. But you had to add in all this weird supernatural and vampire stuff that just didn't fit. It didn't fit. So I don't want
Yeah.
anyone to talk about it anymore. I didn't
Yeah.
like it. So
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so this one almost made my top three. It just kind of edged out.
ooh.
I just watched this one the other day. I don't think you saw this, and I don't even know if you'd like it. I loved it though. Together,
Almost watched it again. I'm also trying to get through a bunch of 2025
yeah,
films to make sure I have a good breadth of what is happening out there so I can make my decisions thoughtfully. I didn't see this one, so I have to take a sip, but it sounds
yeah.
like you
I don't.
liked it.
I thought it was awesome. Like I really liked it up until I wish it would have ended different, but it is
Mm,
what it is. That's just my personal taste. Yeah, I know you don't like body horror. There is some body horror in it. It's not like a ton of body horror in it, but basically
okay.
the concept is I'm not going to give away the twist, but basically this couple who's kind of having some problems leaves the city to move to middle of fucking nowhere. The
Mm,
guy doesn't want to go, like he's kind of like dealing with his own shit, and something happens to them that is kind of making them need to like connect with each other, like, and
oh,
connect physically,
all
where
right.
like if they touch they get kind of like stuck together.
Mm,
What I will say about it, it's very different. I've never seen a movie like this. It's very weird, but in a good way. It's also like scary in some parts. I thought it was really good, really well done. I was so curious as to like where this was going to go and how it was going to end. I was really locked in. I think even the ending was like up until like the last 2 minutes. I just wish like something else happened, but I loved it. It's definitely, this would definitely be in my top five of the best
wow.
movies this year. I
Holy
loved it. I thought it
cow.
was great. I will watch it again. And I thought Allison Brie, who I usually like, and I
Okay.
don't really care too much for Dave Franco, but I felt like they were really good at this real life couple. And it's just interesting seeing them like arguing throughout like the whole movie because like they're a real couple, right? So like they
That's
had to act
funny.
like they're fighting.
Yeah.
I thought they both did a really good job. It was really good. The movie gets tonally weird in some parts. Like at some parts, it starts getting kind of funny, and you're like, "Where did this come from?" Because it's not funny, and then it is. So it's a little different, but I liked it. I'd recommend it. I'd watch it if I were you. I don't know if you'll
It's on
like it, but
it's
I
it's
loved
on
it.
my list, and I think I still got about 2 weeks or so to get it in. So I it's definitely there. It's high up on my list. I just body horror again. I don't know, but I'll check it.
It's not too much I felt, but I also like body horror, so like
Yeah.
that's me. This one I don't think you watched. I didn't watch it, and the reason why I didn't watch it is because I did hear there's animal violence in it. It is The Ugly Stepsister. I almost watched it, and then someone told me there's some animal stuff, so I
No,
didn't.
I didn't see
Um,
it.
it's
Is
body
it
horror too.
is this person's top list? Is that like their number one or one of their
No, we're not
top
there yet.
films?
That's number
Oh,
two. We're at
that's number
number.
two for them.
Actually, well, they didn't. I don't know if it's in order. There's one more movie left after this one.
Oh,
Uh,
so I wonder if that's in order because I mean, someone's
doesn't
rating it
say.
as their top two. I mean, that's pretty serious. But if there's animal cruelty, I can't support it, so I'm not gonna
Yeah,
watch
same,
it.
same. So I didn't watch it. And then lastly, I forget if you watched this one, Weapons. Did you ever end up
Yeah,
watching
yeah,
it?
yeah. Watch it a couple times. Yeah,
You watched it more than once.
I did. Yeah, I
You
did.
liked it, or
I watched it more than once because I fucking hated it the first time, and I was like, man, I can't be that off. So I'm gonna say after watching it a few times, I'm gonna give it a thumbs up.
oh
So
shit. Okay.
so so I feel like maybe the hype was a little bit too high, and everyone was going on about it when I watched it. It was just like a disappointed because it wasn't the film I thought it was going to be. But then went on a rewatch. Then I knew, I knew what it was about. I knew everything. I liked it more. I mean, it's like this for me. It's like not
Yeah.
thumbs up or thumbs down, but if I have to choose one, I'm going to give it a thumbs up because if it was, I would probably watch it again. I think, not now, not next year, but in the future, I would check it out again. But for me, there's a lot of things I didn't like about it. Really didn't like the concepts. I mean, I thought it was
Yeah.
stupid. I didn't like the child narrating over the film. I don't like the main actress. What's her name?
I don't know, but she's in like every movie.
Hold on a second. Julia Granner or something like that.
Something like that. Garner, I
Yeah,
think.
Garner.
Julia
Yeah, I
Garner.
don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, Julia Garner. I don't love her as an actress. I don't like the way they broke up the story around the different people, and like half of the stories weren't even like horror stories. I didn't like that it was like over
So
two
what
hours
did you
long.
like?
So I liked the look of the film. I liked the atmosphere of the film. I liked the other parts of the film. I didn't care. Like, Aunt Gladys. I mean, it was fucking stupid. I mean, there's so many things, but something told me after the rewatch, I'm like, wasn't that bad. You know what I'm saying? It changed my opinion about it, even though there's so many things I don't like about it.
So here's my take on it. I've only watched it once, and I saw
Hmm.
it in the theater, and I remember the first half of the movie because it's not first half is not horror. Probably the first hour and 10 minutes, 15 minutes is not horror. And
All
I'm
right.
watching it, and I'm kind of bored, but I'm like still like interested in what's going to happen. And then I really liked like the last act once it gets to horror.
Oh,
I liked the ridiculousness of it. I thought it was, I mean, the movie's basically kind of like Long Legs, but more of like a drama. It's very similar to that movie. So I came out of the theater liking it a lot, but I've not wanted to watch it again. So that's why I'm kind of like, I don't know if it's a yes or a no. I'm gonna say thumbs up just for
okay.
because I did like it. Leaving the theater, I was like, that was really good. That was so creative and different. But then every now and then I think, should I put that on? I'm like, I don't know if I want to sit through that first hour and a half. So I don't know. I will watch it again and get a different opinion probably, but I did like it, so I'll give that a
Yeah.
thumbs up.
So I actually have my handwritten notes here
Oh
about this
shit.
film,
Okay, tell us. Yeah, right. Read it.
and so what I have here is there's no real horror until an hour and 21-minute
So there you
mark.
go. That's
It
what I said. Yeah,
is
basically.
when it shifts, which is probably act three starting. 30 minutes. Yeah, nothing scary happens. Nothing to build suspense. There's no danger. I thought the rifle above the house was the stupidest thing I've ever
That was
seen in my
stupid.
life.
That was really dumb.
Uh,
That was
it took,
awful.
yeah, it took 45 minutes until that guy Marcus attacks her, which to me felt like the beginning of maybe like we're realizing that there's more of this story than what we're looking at. So, but it took 45 minutes to get there. Um, I found each person's story was interesting, but again, it's like it's not horror. It's like the Pulp Fiction kind of like of horror where you're getting everyone's POV, but not everyone's POV is kind of like rooted in horror. And I think once you know the twist, and this is it, this is exactly what you're saying. Once you know the twist, is it worth watching again? Is the payoff for 2 hours and 10 minutes, is it worth it? I don't know. To me, I don't know. I'm so on the fence with this one. Like I said, maybe I'll watch it again.
Yeah, I mean, look, I will give it points for creativity because it is very different. It's a very different kind of story. The way it's told, like not just the being broken up into parts, but it's just it's very interesting. But like you said, it's like I know what's going to happen. Like I'm not going to be in suspense anymore. Do I want to sit through a half hour of someone's story that kind of has very little to do with anything? It's just kind of
Exactly.
like it all kind of comes together. But I feel like you could easily cut out a half hour here, a half
Half
hour
hour.
there, and then still get to the same point.
So really for everyone who like disagrees with us and stuff like that, this movie suffers from the same exact problem as Sinners, suffers from for me personally, because again, could this be a good movie and also be a bad horror movie? Yes, I think it can be. I think if again, if it wasn't like a horror film, if it was just kind of like got away from any sort of supernatural things and was just like a fucked up drama story, I think it would have been probably a top film for me that I watch all the time. But the elements that it added that were horror elements felt like an afterthought, and they weren't scary, and they were kind of flat out stupid. And I said the same exact thing for Sinners. I think the horror parts were just stupid. So, I mean, again, like I think this is going to be a lot of people's top film
Yeah.
of the year, but because it is, it's a good movie. Like it's hard. It's hard to say it's a bad movie. I mean, the acting's incredible. The direction is incredible. The cinematography. It's an amazing movie. But
Yeah.
is it a good horror movie? I'm here to talk about horror movies. No, it's not. But I don't know.
Yeah, I
That's
don't
just
even it's not even a horror movie until again the very end of the movie. So it's a hard one. But like you said, it is a quote unquote good movie, but it might not be a good horror movie.
yeah.
All right, well that's my dream game. I think
Woo,
we
that's
covered a lot of the high points of 2025. I think some other
man.
things we didn't,
Throwing my
look.
Blantons here.
Yeah, yeah. So like I mean I know everybody's been kind of waiting for this moment right here where we're gonna give our top three, which is, look, you're gonna get a lot of top lists over the next like couple of weeks from people. Like everybody's gonna be kind of doing it, and people are probably gonna give like long 20 film lists. We're just doing three because that's like actually weren't I don't think I had 20 good movies that I saw this year. There's probably three that I thought were really good. So we're gonna give that, and like these are the movies, and like I now I'm looking at my list and I'm like this is going to seem like not pretentious, but like I picked three movies that are not overly popular movies. So, but these are my three favorite movies of the year. So, let's go. You want to go in order? We'll do our number. We'll go three, two, one.
Three, two, one. Yeah, that makes sense. And listen, this wasn't really easy for me to put together. I don't think there was like a film that was like the greatest film of the last 10 years that I watched this year.
No.
I mean, there were definitely some good films, there were definitely some bad films. So it was a little bit hard for me to put together the top three because I was like picking three from like a tough list. Even though that a lot of people think that there were some blockbusters in horror this year. Just like you, I did not pick any blockbusters.
Yeah.
And I will give my top three, and then when I'm done with that, I will give my number one flop
Oh, okay. I love that. I'm gonna do
of the
that
year. How about
too.
that?
I love it.
I'll give my number one flop, but I'll do number three, and I'll just do my number three now because I'm gonna blow your mind right now, and you're
All
just
right.
gonna you're gonna yell. So maybe we need to like mute the mics or something like that, or something like
I'm
that.
scared. Let me
Maybe
have a
cut
drink.
maybe cut like the feed or something like that because something's about to happen now and no one's gonna expect it. All right, my number three film of 2025 was Brian Bertino's Vicious.
Wait, what? You liked that
I
movie?
fucking loved it, dude. I
What the
liked it
fuck? I
so
did. Okay,
much.
okay,
I
okay,
liked it so
okay. All right. All
much.
right, wait. Slow down because we gotta talk. Like, I just want to know. Like, I thought you would hate that movie, and I
How,
did not like it
dude,
because I thought it was
think
boring.
about the movie. How would I hate it? Think about it.
What did you
Think
like
about
about it?
think about the atmosphere, think about the setting,
Okay,
think
atmosphere.
about all of
It's a
that.
mood. It's a mood.
I mean it is. I mean it's all right. So anyone doesn't know, I'll get the premise super
Yeah.
quick. This girl Polly receives a mysterious box from a stranger, and she was basically told that she will die unless she puts three items in it. These three items are something she needs, something she hates, or something she loves. From there, this movie spins off into like this supernatural nightmare, and reality is blurred. And Polly, who's played by Dakota Fanning, who I think did a great job, really can't trust anything or anyone that's happening. And honestly, for anyone who's seen like I mean, I saw a film like this last year. I can't think of the name of it, but it's basically like a monodrama. It's basically just a one person film, and it's like all her thoughts. There's a few B and C characters that may show up for a few seconds, but really just it's around Dakota Fanning, and she really needs to do a good job. And I think she had a super strong performance. She held my interest. And honestly, the cold, snowy night, the crackling fire, she's smoking cigarettes and drinking wine with like, this isolation factor. She's alone in this dark house by herself and like creepy things start happening and she's getting like worked up and like she's really jumpy. And if you lock into this film, then you get a little jumpy and the jump scares kind of like start working for you and I think, when you kind of told me about this, I wasn't going to watch it because I'm like, oh, that's easy. But then this film with those instructions, it forces you to be honest with yourself. And I'm glad that they played on that part with her. It's like it's so easy. If you told me to pick something I hate, I think
I put
even
this
if,
movie in there.
yeah, even if I thought, you know, I would take your opinion into consideration. Even though you're asking me to say something I hate, it's real. The hardest person to be honest with is yourself. And this film really kind of puts the mirror in front of you and forces you to do that. And there's dire, dire consequences if you're not. And I think that it's scary at times, it's brutal at times, and it was really, really interesting. Now, I understand what you didn't like about it. Is this movie kind of like all over the place? Yeah, it definitely is. Is there a lot of ambiguity and questions and it's is it fully baked out? Not really. Yeah, I get it. I get what you're saying, but I like the concept. It totally worked for me, and I really enjoyed it. Like
Wow, wow. No,
I
I'm
can't.
shocked.
I am shocked
So,
too because I enjoyed it.
I did really like the concept. I thought that was really cool. I did think Dakota Fanning's really good in it. I did like that it's a mood. I felt that like the things that you said that why I wouldn't like it, absolutely. I also thought it just kind of it dragged. It took forever to kind of get to these each of these things. And the other thing I think I didn't like was it basically the whole movie takes place in this one house. They do go outside the house, but it's like shot so dark, and if it's in the same location, it just got really boring to me. There wasn't like enough to look at where like because again, if it's just gonna be one woman in a house, like I need more creativity to like stick with it. So I didn't like it. I did only watch it once though, so maybe I need to give it another try. But I was very into it, I would say, for the first like 40 minutes. I'm like, this is
Okay,
fun.
great.
This is
Okay.
great. And then I'm like, okay, can we just get to the thing now? But so, maybe I just need to give it another chance. But okay, that's interesting. Okay.
I lived it and I want to live in that house and be a part of that movie. It was that it hit all the boxes for me and checked them off because I'm like, man, I'm feeling this right now. So again, it's mood, it's being like if you're locked in, it's hitting you at the right time. And it just happened to hit me at the right time.
Yeah, I think you know what it was too. I watched it during the day, in like an afternoon.
Okay,
Maybe
yeah,
maybe I need to
maybe.
watch it
Yeah.
at night with lights off and everything like that. I watched it in the afternoon,
I
so maybe
would I
that's.
would recommend giving it another chance. If you hate it, you could say, Jerry, your number three film fucking sucked, but I'm
I
putting it
didn't
out
hate
there
it.
right
I just
now.
didn't like it.
I'm giving it a
Vicious.
reco. Check out Vicious. What is your number three?
So my number three, it might be in your top three too. We'll see. It's definitely not going to be on anyone else's top three. Until Dawn.
Oh wow. No, just off my list. It's
Yeah.
probably like number six or seven for me. Yeah, no, that was good. Go ahead.
Until Dawn, and we did that in the same episode with Sinners, which was interesting. Like this was a movie that if you told me about it, I'd be like, "There's no way I'm gonna watch this movie. I'm
Yeah.
gonna hate this movie." I fucking loved it. I thought it. I mean, again, based on a video game that I've never played, but I felt like it was very clever. I felt like it was really bloody. I felt like it was interesting. It was just like fun, but like not fun, but like you know what I mean. It was just like an entertaining kind of movie. I thought it was great. I've watched it probably 4 times this year. Like I thought Until Dawn was really good. I think a movie that was totally slept on because it's a video game movie, right? And like I think fans of the video game like didn't like it because it's like not true to the video game maybe, but then like other people are like, eh, it's a video game movie, it's kind of stupid. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was a lot of fun.
I mean, I think it got steamrolled. I mean, if we were watching it basically the same time we were watching Sinners, how are you going to compete with that? You know, all
Right.
the noise and buzz around Sinners. A little film like this had no chance. But honestly, I mean, it's almost in that same category as Vicious with me. It was a great like little film that had an awesome story and was done really really well. And if someone told you the concept of the film, you'd be like, this is going to be the stupidest thing I've
Yeah.
ever saw, but somehow it works and it works well. I get what you're saying. Yeah, I watched it twice. Just didn't make my list though.
So what's your number two then? Moving
Number
on.
two, Final Destination Bloodlines.
Okay, yeah, I can't argue with that. That's
I,
definitely in
I,
my top
lo-
five.
I
Yeah, in my
loved
top five.
I think it was great for all the things you said earlier. I mean, that opening scene is so epic. It's gorgeous. I mean, it pulls you into the story. They take you from the past, they bring you into modern day. It's a great mystery, it's a great story. And I think I probably said it when we reviewed it, but there's a lot of things in films I like, it's like the kills are creative, there's like a blood cannon and stuff like that. Like there's a lot of things I like. And I think what I mentioned in this film is that the splat factor of this film is a 10 and the chain reaction kills of this film is a 10. And those are two things that I enjoy in every time I see it. I'm like, oh, now that's clever. That's cool. And this film pulled that off so well, when there's exploding bodies and blood flying up all over the place and people dropping out of the sky lower play. I mean, like to me, that's just so crazy. And I mean, it's a lot of splat, and I like it.
A lot of
And
spot.
then,
Yeah. And you know what also is good about this one and also it's like, a lot of these kind of movies, it's like you're just kind of killing time before the next big set piece happens, right? It's like,
Mhm.
okay, we're gonna have some bullshit dialogue and blah blah. Blah. I feel like in this one the characters were interesting. I felt like it was
Oh yeah.
you were kind of locked into the story, so it wasn't just like let's just fast forward until we get to the kill. Like it's interesting and on the rewatch it's still interesting. So yeah, and there were again a lot of franchises, a lot of sequels. You had Conjuring, 20 years later, Black Phone, Strangers. I know what you did last summer, probably a ton more. This was
Hmm.
by far the best sequel franchise that came out last year. Absolutely. Not in my top
100%.
three, but it's definitely
Damn.
top five. My next one is a movie you highly recommended to me that I loved. This again, probably on no one's list. Bone Lake. Bone Lake was awesome. That was and simple, very simple movie, right? It's like this, couple who's struggling gets an Airbnb. Another couple shows up who, double booked the same Airbnb, and of course that couple's very different. And even though you kind of know where it's going, like you kind of have a feeling that like this other couple's up to no good, like you can kind of tell. It still was really interesting, and I liked the game they were playing. And then the last 20 minutes, it gets fucking brutal. Like there's chainsaws, there's all kinds of blood. It gets hardcore. And I love this movie. I watched it like a few times in the past like couple weeks. Like Bone Lake is so good. And again, simple, very simple movie. It just show and again, it's not even like it's that unique or original a story, but it was just really entertaining and well done. And I thought everybody was really good in it. So I thought Bone Lake was great.
Yeah, great film. I liked it a lot. I mean, it was psychological, it was drama, it was horror. I mean, there was so much like manipulation and social engineering
Yeah.
going on in this. Like, it really took like this level of manipulation to a different place than I've ever seen before in a film. And like you said, like that last 20 minutes, I mean, to me, it just hits like a French film. Anyone who
Hmm.
watches like a really crazy French film, there's like this high that it hits. Like the French films hit like this moment that really probably aren't capable of getting away with in the United States, where everything just gets absurd and everyone's covered in blood at some
Yeah.
point, and it's just like blood and goo and just like it's absurdity happening, and like the movie Revenge or Mads,
I still
or I
haven't
think
seen
that,
Revenge yet. I have to
yeah,
watch
like
that.
Climax, Martyrs, all these films where like this absurd, and they did it in this film, so I was like blown away by that. And I really liked the film too, and I mean, I'll just let me just cruise into my number one. Can I get a drum roll or something here? All right, ready? Bone Lake.
I had a feeling it was going to be
Bone
your number
Lake
one. Yeah,
is my number one film, and a lot of like what you said was true. I think the characters were interesting. I mean, it was sexy at times, it was evil at times. Uh, there was just like so many points where the awkwardness was just so high, where you're like, there's no fucking rules in this film. Like you're doing anything you want to do. Like these people are doing things that no one would ever do to other people. You're like, this is flying off the handle. Like, what's happening? Like it just gets so crazy, and the lies, and it touches on like every insecurity that really anyone would have in a relationship, and the sexual tensions and trust issues. I mean, it taps all those things and exploits them to like a different level. And all those things makes a good horror film. So
so almost every movie we review, I always say, I wish it was 20 minutes shorter. I wish it was 30 minutes shorter. I wish this movie was fucking longer because like that's and not because it needed more, but like I didn't want it to end because I was like really into the like everything that was happening. I was into the characters, I was into the twists. I was so into it that I did not want it to end. I wish it was 20 minutes longer. Like just for I don't know what. I don't know what more you do. Like there's nothing more they could have done, but like I was so into the movies. Bone Wake, highly recommend.
highly recommend it. No final girl fatigue. I think the 20 minutes for the like kind of like big fight finale
Perfect
was
amount
the
of time.
perfect
Yeah.
amount of time. You were just in awe. Like, I'm gonna say, you'd be like, probably say what the fuck at least three times in that 20 minutes. You might laugh for a couple seconds in that 20 minutes, and then you go, oh. And that last, like, it puts you through every emotional state in the I guess the final act of that film. Again, this um not a perfect film, but the
No,
best
no.
film for me for 2025. This was
Yeah.
the best film, and unexpected.
Not a perfect film. I wouldn't even say it's a great film, but it was highly entertaining
Yeah.
and I never would have heard of it if it wasn't for you. And thank God you
I don't even
watched
know
it
why I
because
watched it. I don't even know. It's the
uh,
stupidest name in the world. Like,
yeah.
again, I think I said it
And they
last
reference
time.
how dumb the name is. Like they make fun of
Yeah.
they're staying at Bone Lake and they make fun of it. And it's like I think that's really clever. Yeah, no, I love Bone Lake. Okay, so my number
Yep, I'm
one,
gonna give you a little.
yeah, I don't think you saw this one. I did talk about it at the very beginning of the year. It came out in January on Shudder. The movie is Grafted, which I
I did not see
loved.
it. No, yeah.
I loved it. It's kind of to me, it's like Substance meets Mean Girls, maybe. It's about this like really nerdy, awkward foreign exchange student from China who goes to stay with her aunt in New Zealand somewhere, and she's like a scientist, like a science student, and she figures out a way to restore human tissue. But what she learns is that if she were to cut off someone's face, the skin, she could graft it to herself and become that person. So she kind of does that throughout the movie to make various things happen. And I thought it was just awesome.
That's
It
pretty
was
fucked
really,
up. Yeah, that sounds
it's
crazy.
it's fucked up.
Yeah.
It's creative. It's clever. It's like an interesting tone where it's horror and not comedy, but it's again, it's like I mentioned like Mean Girls or like it made me think of and whenever I tell people like it made me think of this movie, they're like, really? Like I don't get it. Made me think of like a Jennifer's Body, just how it's kind
Mm,
of clever and like self-aware.
yeah.
Really well shot. Like I loved Grafted. And again, it's a movie that like I said I was going to pick three pretentious movies. I picked three movies no one's ever fucking watched, but like I loved Grafted. I've watched it multiple times. It's body horror, so it is a little tough if you're not into that. But I don't know, it's very different and I loved it. It's great storytelling and
I,
I highly recommend it.
I mean, it sounds really interesting. I saw it on Shudder. Maybe I'll click it and watch it before the end of the year.
Yeah, like I would normally say it's not for you because you're not into body horror, but I think because it's very different and very clever, I think you might like it because it's really well done. It's really good.
Yeah, this is definitely like the year of body horror, and I think it's probably like tailing off of last year, from oh my God, what was that film?
Substance.
Substance. Yeah, for like, that did so well, and that had like such like heavy body horror elements to it. Everyone's like, oh, that's the secret for making a good film this year. And Substance definitely, I liked it a lot. Like that body horror didn't bother me. So maybe I'm more inclined to checking it out. But yeah, I mean that sounds like a really interesting film. So I'm
Yeah,
gonna check it.
I'm into body horror in general. Like not always because sometimes it's just too gross, but I feel like there's a lot of like untapped stories you could kind of tell and very different things you can do with that kind of like idea behind a movie. So I feel like
Mm.
it's something every time I see like a body horror movie, not every time, but like a lot of times I'm like, wow, I've never seen that before. Like that was creative. Like again, like the Together movie, it's pretty simple, like in terms of storytelling, but I've never seen a movie like that. So it's always like refreshing. So yeah, so that's our top three. So we both picked
Ooh,
Bone
man,
Lake.
write it
Yeah.
down, people. Write it
Yeah.
down and go check these out because these
So
are
you
some
want to see,
serious,
sorry, go ahead.
films. No,
Yeah,
these are
so you
some
want to
serious
see Final
films.
Destination Bloodlines, you want to see
Yeah,
Bone Lake, you want to see
yeah,
Grafted, you
yeah.
want to see Until Dawn, and was there one more?
Yeah, man. The one you didn't like, Vicious.
Oh, Vicious, right? And you want to watch Vicious. So those that's it. That's the Horror Heads top three for this year. Oh, and before we kind of go, we do have to do the top bomb
Top
of
Bomb.
2025. And this is a tough
Okay.
one because there was a lot of movies I fucking hated this year.
Yeah.
What's
I'll give my top bomb, and I do this with sincere regret because I desperately wanted to like this film. I watched the film 3 or 4 times now to
whoa.
just confirm that I felt this way, but it's true. I feel this way. This is the top bomb for me. And it's going to be The Strangers Chapter 2, and I'm really upset about it. I really wanted to like it. Uh, it's the, the the problem I realized after watching it multiple times is that it doesn't feel like a Strangers film, and that's what I don't like about it. So when I think about the other Strangers film, like Pray at Night is not a great film.
I
It's
love
not.
it though.
Yeah, but it has that feel, has that atmosphere. It feels like a Strangers movie, but it's not a great film. It's like, it's kind of a bad film, but you enjoy it because it feels like a Strangers movie, even though it's not really like the first one, but it still feels that way. And honestly, chapter one, even though you didn't like it, it has that feel for me. It still feels like a Strangers movie. This one did not. It just didn't have that feeling. It went right into the cat and mouse, which is okay, but they rely on it without building any of that tension and drama that should have been there in the first place. But that's essentially because they did it in chapter one,
Yep.
and they messed it up. And the girl that plays Maya, like Madeline Pesh, I think she's fine. She's a good actress, but it's just the story is weird where they went. They should have just focused on the strangers and told that story. Just tell that story. Give us that, because now that they alluded to it, they already killed off one of them. What, like, they kind of ruined part three already before it even happens. And now it kind of disappoints part one because you already know like one of the strangers is dead. And that's really disappointing to me, So to me, The Strangers Chapter 2, even though I want to love it, is my biggest bomb.
Yeah, I would probably honestly like when I think about what the worst movie of 2025 horror wise was, it probably is that one. And what I
Oh
will say
man,
is,
really? We
and
both
we talked
said,
about it. Yeah,
yeah.
look, it's 90 minutes of final girl fatigue, and that's all it is
Yep.
and I feel like there's two things. One, I feel like if it wasn't a Strangers movie, I also wouldn't like it because I would have gotten bored from it. It's like we always
Yeah.
say, if it's John Wick, like I love a good gunfight, but when it goes on for 15 minutes, I get really bored and I check out. And this again is 90 minutes of them chasing around Maya, which just isn't very interesting. And it just wasn't even like scary cat and mouse. It was like weird. Like it wasn't
Just
even intense. It was
wasn't
like
good.
there was weird choices. I think what hurts it too is that it's the second film in a trilogy because I do feel, and will I watch the third one? I don't know, maybe. But like I feel like no matter what that movie is, you could have skipped this whole movie and still gotten to the same point, other than one of the strangers dying. Like there's really nothing that happened that really fills in a ton of like anything. Like, and I feel like this movie could have been 15 minutes long. I feel like Strangers 1 could have been 15 minutes long. And then however they're going to end this story is like the movie. But I feel like you don't even need to watch
I
this
think
one.
I don't think they're gonna land the plane on this one, Rich.
No,
I don't think
no.
so because they really screwed it up already. They should not have killed off like one of the strangers in the second film. That's not a cliffhanger. That's a letdown, is
Because now
what
you have
that
now
is.
it's two instead of three. It's
Now
like
it's two, and they killed the good one. You know, it's like the one everyone likes. You know, like why would you kill her off? And then going into the last part, it's like how much of the story? I mean, if they wanted to tell the story of the strangers, they should have told the story of the strangers. But this one's really kind of confused with still trying to tell the story from part one to get it to part three and kind of sprinkle in some information about the strangers. The information they gave us about the strangers wasn't dense enough for us to really learn a lot. So you just don't care. And to me, I didn't want to know. I said it many times. I didn't
yeah.
want to know. It's always scarier when you don't know. But if you're going to tell it, make sure it's a good story. Make sure you're telling a really, really good story about the killer, make sure like you're building something, you're not like ruining something. And I mean, I don't know where this is going to go, but I know that this caused a lot of sadness for me to make this my biggest flop when I wanted this to be my favorite film
I just
of
don't get why they
2025.
made it any of these to begin with. Like, I don't know what the point was. Like, why? Like, I get it's like IP and you're just trying to like milk it and it's a money grab, but like there had to be other IP. Like what? Like it doesn't make any sense. Like why? Again, there's nothing here. It didn't need to be three movies. Like make one movie. Um, instead they made three, and no one's good. I bet you the third one doesn't even get a theatrical
Oh
release
God,
because like
yeah.
this one bombed so bad because it was so terrible. So like you just shot yourself in the foot.
They ruined it. So really disappointing, but definitely my top flop. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
give
that's
it
it. That's it.
top
That's
flop
our list,
status.
man.
All right, that's
That's
that's our 2025 year in review. So you could follow us on Instagram at Horrorheads Podcast, email us horrorheadspodcast@gmail.com. So now we told you what to watch, what not to watch. Some good movies. Some look, there was some there. I would say there wasn't that like amazing movie though. There was some really good movies that I enjoyed, but it wasn't like man, like that was like the fucking like last year, The Substance, I thought was one of the best movies I ever
yeah,
seen.
yeah,
This
definitely.
year, like nothing really grabbed me. So it was like an okay year for horror. I think also what I think a lot of the movies released early in the year because it did seem like there was a big glut where there was just nothing for us to
Yeah,
cover on the
yeah.
show. So hopefully next year's a little better. Maybe we kind of like figure out what the movies are next year and talk about that another time. But we do have one more episode left. We're going to do our season finale coming soon. We're going to have a couple of really fun special guests. We're going to talk about some holiday horror, and that's going to be it.
That's it, man. This was a lot of fun. I like
Yeah.
doing it, and we're about to wrap up another season, which is crazy. So one more episode and it's a wrap for us. And I mean, we'll just let you guys know there's gonna be a season three. So don't worry about it. If we
Spoiler
were
alert.
yeah, if we were your top podcast and your Spotify wrap, we appreciate that and we're gonna make sure we're gonna be there again next year. So thank you everyone for supporting us and listening to us and definitely tune in for our what's going to be a pretty wild holiday cocktail horror party. So,
Hell yeah. All right. So I'm going to finish up this scotch. Cheers.
cheers.